Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It's me, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live on this edition of Rogue News, and we have Strategic Life with the main man of the hour, the man who finds opportunity in the chaos, the man who finds the income where people seem to be glum and hopeless, the man who lifts up hope and shows everybody the way out, the man who has cracked the matrix several times and's got the T-shirt to prove it. The one and only John J. Singleton is here. John, welcome back, buddy. How are you?
Hey, thanks, BJ. Very good.
It's great to have you back. And folks, if you want to check out John's work, go to aceofcoins.com, aceofcoins.com. John, you're a mad scientist. You've been working very diligently, very deeply, very thoroughly, very enigmatically on something major that is changing the game. And you want to share that with the world right now for the audiences that are listening in. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, thank you so much. And if that's true, I may get fired.
You're 100% unemployable, brother. Are you kidding me?
Because it answers the question. So many people have asked me over the years. Once they're all like, I help them, and they're like, "Oh, that's so great. What happens if you die?" They're too afraid to say if you die. They say, "What can I do if something happens to you?" And so I would say, "Oh, you mean if I die?" And they go, "Well, yeah." And I say, "Well, I can't clone myself up until this year. So I clone myself."
You've cloned yourself.
So what does that even mean? There's a lunatic that now there's two of them. And one we can fire. So that's me.
So take us down the rabbit hole, man, because that's the biggest problem I've had. I mean, so you've helped out thousands of my clientele from some of the most stickiest situations you could ever imagine. You've created income streams for several people that I know personally. And hell, I even where I'm like, what do I do if something happens to you, man? That's a good question. I said I always thought the answer was we have to go somewhere in I don't know, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, find some dude and then coach him and train him for several years so he can do maybe 1/10 of 1% of what you do. But now you have a better option.
Well, I think so. I mean, what I did is I took my work, the actual casework, and I feed it to this new device, this AI device we talked about before. The hardware, the software, so I have the hardware. It's gonna be available on a server that it's mine, and we just plug it in and use it. It's not like ChatGPT, although it has the same attributes. But what you're getting out of it is you can just go to ChatGPT and ask it some legal stuff, right? But what I'm training this thing so that it'll do things like, okay, you sent me this client about maybe 3 years ago, and the husband and wife, and they got sued by the IRS. The IRS wanted, first of all, the IRS wanted to put them in jail because the IRS didn't like my answers to their audit questions. But here's the thing. My AI will answer those questions in the same way, whether or not I'm around, and piss off the IRS and be legally correct.
That's sick.
If you care. So, and the strategy in that case was, let's take a transcript of the audit because I know the IRS is not going to like it, and they're going to go to the district court and ask for a show cause, like, hey, they didn't answer the questions, and so the husband and wife didn't answer. We want to put them in jail. So, in fact, that's what the IRS did. Well, we had the transcript. If you go to a lawyer or an accountant, he's never going to say take the transcript, and he's never going to say answer the questions this way. So we did that, and we filed the motion in court when my clients got served, and we showed the judge that they're lying. The DOJ was lying. Can you believe that?
The DOJ lying? My God, the thought of it.
I was so shocked. I was hurt that my government would be lying. And so we showed the transcript word for word, and we just asked for a dismissal. We said, in so many words, the DOJ is lying, And so before the judge could even rule on it, it took like 5 days. The DOJ withdrew the case forever, So the idiots, they didn't stop there. They have to double down on stupidness. So this is the kind of thing I'm telling you this scenario because this is the kind of thing that the AI does. My AI will do this. Your lawyer will not do this. So the IRS decided, let's sue these people again on the same set of facts, but this time, let's sue for money. So they went over all the years and they claimed that so much money was owed. Yeah. It was like $650,000.
Right.
All right. So again, in this case, they had to allege that there was a assessed tax, the tax is assessed, all this stuff. They kept saying assessment. So we responded back saying, okay, can we see the assessment record? You're saying there is one. It's an allegation, your complaint. Okay, let's assume it's true. I'd like to see it, because that's the basis of what you're claiming as a tax liability. And they were playing these games with discovery back and forth. And I told my clients, I said, it's going to take about 6 months. And when we get to the moment of them having to produce an assessment officer, they're going to withdraw the case. And sure enough, that's what happened. Yeah,
I remember this case.
On the second time,
yeah,
this all happened within like 18 months. So anyways, what the important thing about is this is when the DOJ dismissed the case the second time, it was about money. And when they dismissed it, that meant that my clients didn't owe the $650,000. That was now zero. Forever. No argument. Done. We beat it. Legally, squarely, and they admit it. So that's the kind of thing that I'm setting this up for. Yeah, it's cloning my ideas and my strategies. As simple as it gets. Another one, a woman came to me, her company was being sued, and I said, what are you doing with the company? She said, not much. I said, who's being sued? Is it you or the company? She goes, no, it's only the company. I said, well, let's go find who the lawyers that signed the complaint. I didn't even ask her if she owed the money. Who cares? I didn't even tell her, let's defend the company. I just said, who are the lawyers? And let's get their names and let's amend the articles of the company that they're suing, your company. Let's give them the company.
Yeah.
Just make them the owners. So now they're just suing themselves.
Oh my God.
And we were done with it. Didn't have to file nothing in court. That's good English, by the way. You didn't have to file anything in court. Didn't cost anything. It was fun afternoon to talk about it, and the case just disappeared because it's so embarrassing. So this is kind of thinking, So the last story, and this I'm telling you this because I want you to understand, it's not just some gimmick. This is like something that you want to look at. Okay, so the last example is a gentleman comes to me like maybe it's about 10 months ago now. Within the last year, he's getting sued because he didn't pay his credit card bill. You guys need to pay your credit card bills, Anyways, he wasn't paying his, and so the bank didn't like it, and the bank sued him. So he came and he calls me and says, what do I do? And I told him there's a couple things here to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, but there's something else you might want to try. And the idea was that you sue, the case is in court. You file a motion or whatever, but you sue the lawyers, you sue the law firm, and you sue the individual attorneys, whoever's put his name on the other record in the state court. You sue them in the federal court. I told him, when you sue them in the federal court, what they'll likely do is dismiss the case in the state court, and they'll fight you in the Fed court, and or they'll either settle with you soon or within 6 or 8 months, which is exactly what happened. They withdrew the case in the state court. They were suing him for like $15,000 or something. And then he's got this case in Fed court, and they fought him for 6 months, and they just demonstrated their ignorance on the whole thing. They're totally incompetent. They should have just shut up and paid him in the beginning. And it got to be embarrassing for them. And in fact, at one point they were complaining. This is what it was. They were complaining to the judge that my client was answering them too quickly, and therefore he must be getting help. And it's not fair. It's not fair for my client who never went to law school, who's by himself with no resources, no colleagues, no one to do the work for him, and yet he's going against this law firm with a bunch of lawyers that went to law school and have unlimited resources. But yet it's unfair that he's responding within 2 days. So we get to a point where they finally just gave up and said, how much will it take to make this go away? And he took 100% of what he was alleging in the complaint. That's not even a settlement. That's a win. So then he withdrew the case. But here's what we did. We used regular ChatGPT to do it. The thing that we gave the ChatGPT, though, is the prompts that I wrote. So that's the key. So in my system, I'm writing the prompts. I'm guiding the whole process. So when my client gets something, when you use my system, you're going to send them the document like you would normally do, maybe email or whatever. We have a prompt service. You send that in, and we run it through the AI, okay? You pay a flat fee for like a service. What do I do here? How do I respond? For X dollars, it's going to be almost invisible fee, right? And the thing will crank out a response based on what the laws are, based on what the facts are, based on what I would do. Something like that. It's kind of, so I call it's biased. That's what I'm doing. Gotcha. So it's a biased AI that can do this work. I call it the wizard, Ace of Coins wizard. And yeah, it's my ideas, my strategies that I've used for 33 years. And hopefully they'll be around and valid for quite a while, maybe another decade, until maybe the system changes.
How can can you tell us, like, you've been working on this, you're also creating it as an opportunity for people that want to be a part of your effort. How can they get involved with this? And
yeah, there's a couple of ways. So we have investors right now. I open this up to people to come in and buy a share of the company. So we actually set up a partnership with shares. That's a private placement, and you can buy the shares for 10 cents a share. So we have a minimum that we ask for, but if you don't want to pay the minimum, you can pay less, and there's just a fee for that. But what you're doing is you're buying shares in an AI project that is based on direct consumer sales. It's not based on some market speculation, maybe the price will go up or down. It's not about that. It's on revenue generated from direct sales, which has been going on for decades. For decades, people have been using my service and my information and my strategies, and that they do it on a regular basis. So you're investing in what's a cash flow that's already there for a long time. So I think it's a pretty good bet. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Gotcha. And if they want to find this information, John, where do they go?
aceofcoins.com/wizard. There's the subscriber agreement, there's the partnership agreement, and whatever else we have over there. We also pay a commission too. So if like people listening to your show, you can earn a commission, BJ. If they just mention, yeah. So
that's good.
We kind of do that manually, right? Because we only have like maybe 30 positions left for the shares. Wow. Yeah.
Fantastic, John. John, what do you see going forward, especially with what you're creating, and how that's going to be a game changer, especially in the realm of asset protection?
Well, asset protection. I mean, okay, so if you understand a couple of things, maybe you have to have some basic understanding of risk, okay, financial risk. But you can use certain prompts, or you can use my AI, but you can use certain prompts to take a 30-page contract and run it through the AI and have it answer certain questions about, where do you see certain financial risk here? It needs to be more specific, but this is a tool that really people should just become adapted to. You should look for this and start using it in your regular life. I mean, how many times do you, like, for example, your cell phone contract, right? First of all, nobody reads it, but imagine you don't read it because it's so long. But what if you were to just download it into the AI and ask the AI, what concerns might I have for privacy, or things of this nature, right? This is a tool that people should be looking at in their daily lives, not just accepting whatever you're given and then be afraid of AI. Just like, don't be afraid of the blockchain technology. Yeah, the blockchain technology is a tool that can be used for surveillance, which it is. Okay, we have remedies, we have countermeasures we can take there, but this is another measure of technology that you shouldn't fear, but you really kind of have a duty to learn about, because if you don't, someone who's competing with you in society, whether it's professionally or who's going to sell you a service, is going to have power over you if you don't understand how this is working. And if you don't have your own assistant, so to speak. Imagine applying for a job today and you promise the employer, you say, look, I've got skills. I went to school, I did this, I have this experience, and I have this unique set of whatever, prompts, whatever I have, method of using AI, so that makes my effectiveness on the job much greater than if you just hired some other person. I bet he's never heard something like that. And then just demonstrate it for him. Your future employer, watch this, and just show them something, right? It might make you more employable. Not to say that AI couldn't replace your job, but maybe it can't.
Right.
Think about it like that. Just like with the blockchain. Yeah, okay, it can be used for evil and it can be used for good, just like fire. So we just shouldn't be afraid of this technology. And so what I'd like to offer is, instead of just producing something and then selling it, which I can certainly do, I thought it'd be more fun to bring people on and let them buy a share of the company and then pay out dividends, on a regular basis. We can start doing that. Probably we'll start doing that in the first quarter of next year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Without a doubt. Oh man, John, this is remarkable what you got, what you're doing here. Any other tips that you want to share with us?
Well, I don't know. I think just start considering. I'm going to focus on this AI thing. Look at what it's doing. Its ability to analyze large amounts of data quickly is to your advantage. So think about when you want to analyze large amounts of data. You might want to review contracts. Uh, in fact, you can do your own thing. Like so many times now, I can write a contract for something so quickly. Like I explained before, here's another application for it. You can have it write an options contract to buy real estate. What the options contract allows you to do is obtain financing from the seller, or cause give you more time to obtain financing to buy real estate. This may allow you to acquire real estate with little or no money. I know you've heard this before from many places, but it is possible. It is kind of a numbers game. It's a bit of work. You have to look and find it, but you can find something. If you spend all year finding a deal and then you close on a deal and make 25 grand or 50 grand, which is likely, then it's worth the effort, I think. But this AI can certainly help you in that area.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I
It can
agree.
help you make money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very well said.
There is something I'm going to introduce tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm not sure. So, so many times I coach people on the idea of you can just go buy an online business or acquire something. And sometimes it takes me 6 months to get somebody to do it, or it takes one phone call. I've had one phone call with people before that just go out and start making 12 grand a month. Now, that's unusual. Typically, people give up, I should say. But what I'm saying is, what I've done is I've created a business that I can sell many times over. It's a distributorship. I just went and did it. Right. So I had an idea where it's within everyone's reach to go get your supplier in place and get your customer. It's within your reach. You can get this set up in like one day. All right. It's a distributorship and it's by county. So I'm going to talk about this tonight on my call at 7 o'clock.
And if people want to attend that call, where do they go to sign up for that, John?
The best way to look for that is if you go to Telegram and subscribe to Ace of Coins. And then I have the announcement there, and I'll put the announcement up later on today as well in case you miss it. But Ace of Coins on Telegram is where you subscribe, and I always post the link there every Thursday.
Perfect. And again, folks, go to aceofcoins.com, click that Telegram link, join. Very important call tonight at 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Eastern. So keep it locked and loaded. John, any last anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, but thank you so much. I always appreciate being on these shows, and I like it because you and I are sharing with other people what it's like to be an entrepreneur, and maybe you're afraid to get into it, but you're seeing this is real. Like DJ and I, we each have our own thing, so you can do things. Yeah.
Exactly. Folks, this is an amazing opportunity. Learn how to create cash flow. We see it all the time. We say it all the time here on Strategic Life, which is it's never lack of resources. It is lack of resourcefulness. And you have with us the man who is the man when it comes to being creative and always finding the resourcefulness to get things done and to create the cash flow that's needed. You're going to need it for the times that are ahead. Get involved. Check out John, aceofcoins.com. John, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you being on. Cheers.